Hi, and welcome to Cario, your all-in-one freight management software. In this session, we'll be going over the consignments menu. By the end of this video, you'll be able to create a consignment, maintain the consignment, and also manifest the consignment. So let's get to it. On the menu bar on the left, navigate over to the consignments menu. In the drop-down, go ahead and select Create New. When creating a new consignment, start with inputting your pickup location. So for example, here from the dispatch site in South Victoria. Alright, once the collect from details are filled in, the next step would be to fill in deliver to location. So go ahead and click on that pencil icon and you can manually input the address here. Alternatively, if you have an address book saved already within Cario, you can just type it in and pull it out, and all the details will populate for you. Okay, so once you have inputted the collect from and deliver to addresses, you can give the consignment a reference. So for example, we'll name this as test. Next, you can also pre-select the collection date by clicking on the calendar icon, and also the pickup times. And as you can see here on the top right that there is more options that you can click on. And here it'll give you additional pickup options that you can select. So for example, if you need a tailgate or if you need a hand unload, you can go ahead and toggle those based on your needs. Once that's done, you also have some options here to include references as needed or special instructions you would like to send over to the carrier. Now, if you already know which service you're going to use, you can go ahead and click here and it will give you a drop down with all the carriers that you have available at your disposal. However, if you're unsure and you would like to get a quote comparison before this, you can go ahead and leave these blanks for now. The next step would be to input your shipment dimensions and weight. So let's say we're sending over a pallet. 10 pallets. Let's say 20. Alright, so once you have input the shipment dimensions and weight, you also have the option to indicate if your shipment will be fragile or contains liquid, and if it has any dangerous goods, you can click on this plus sign below hazmats and specify that this shipment contains dangerous goods. So for example, if you're sending over carbon dioxides, you can put that in. Now, if you're sending over shipments with assets such as pallets, you can also specify that you're in the assets. So for example, say you're using a loss can, right? So you can know internally what you will do with your assets. Okay, so once you have all this done, the last step would be to go down to the very bottom and acknowledge that all contents of my freight are void of any dangerous goods. And go ahead and click on that create icon. Since we did not pre-select the carrier service to begin with, list all the rates of all the different carriers so you can easily compare before you make your decision on which carrier service you will be using. As you can see, the cheapest quote is highlighted in blue, while the ones with the earliest delivery times are highlighted in orange. If you hover over the numbers, you can also see the breakdown of the freight cost. So for example, since we have pre-selected that we will be requiring a tailgate pickup option, you can see that here there's an additional cost for the delivery tailgate fee. So once you've made your decision on which carrier you would like to use, you can go ahead and select one. So for example, for this one, let's go ahead and use Road Express from TNT. Select the reason, so quicker delivery, and go ahead and click OK. Now the system will create the consignment for you. You should soon see a pop-up notifying that